the basic concept of Contra is that it is a value biased fund. It buys value over price. So what it basically, in terms of philosophy that we are saying, is that it's often better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price rather than a fair company at a wonderful price. So the starting point in terms of investment style is to look at companies that have underperformed the benchmark or which are trading below their long-term average valuation. So there is a value element to it. For us at Kotak Contra, while it is value biased, it goes one step forward in terms of strategy. And therefore, while we are investing contrarian to the market in terms of the sectors and stocks that we are selecting in the portfolio, we are also looking at triggers that will lead to multiples re-rating over a medium-term perspective. It could be companies where we believe that there could be certain changes in fundamental attributes which can therefore lead to that multiple re-rating. So for us, while the basket of stocks that we choose for in terms of the composition of the fund is value, and therefore we are looking at stocks or sectors that have underperformed the market, but there is a overlying theme on top of it where we use our internal model of business management in order to identify these companies where there will be re-rating or triggers for re-rating in terms of the sector or for the companies that we are buying or building into our portfolios. So that's the basic theme when we are looking at Contra in terms of how we manage Contra as a strategy at Kotak. Yeah, so a Contra fund essentially is finally a diversified fund. For us, the way we run Contra, our strategy across market caps is flexible in nature. So there is no constraint in terms of market capitalization between large, mid, and small. And therefore, the risks associated with Contra is something that are risks associated with equity funds. Of course, given the category, the risk would be slightly higher in terms of, where you would, as you were discussing, say in a flexi cap category. However, remember as a starting point, when we are looking at Contra as a fund philosophy or a theme, the starting point is to look at undervalued companies. And therefore, from a risk perspective, when you're looking at valuations, we are investing in companies where clearly valuations are, at this point in time, in our opinion, fairly reasonable, or these companies or sectors are undervalued. So from that starting point, remember, these are for investors who therefore have a long-term investment horizon. They want to realize the full potential of these companies as the re-rating opportunities really play out. And also, as I was mentioning earlier, that in a market which is typically volatile, because the overall composition of the fund is such that your valuations are reasonable, this could be sound investment opportunity, especially in times of volatility. To give you an example, today the way we run Kotak Contra Fund, the PE of the fund on a trailing 12-month basis is lower than the PE of the benchmark, which is NSE 500. However, the ROE of the fund, which is return on equity, is higher than that of the benchmark. So we are buying essentially sound companies which we believe have potential to re-rate, but today trading at reasonable valuations. And that is reflected in the characteristics of the portfolio.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.